Hey guys, it's Anime OGsan, and here is my preview for the winter 2024 season. Of course, the most awaited anime of the season is Solo Leveling. If you're not familiar with it, it's based on an extremely popular Korean webcomic illustrated by Dubu, RIP, which was itself based on a web novel written by Chugong. The story is set in an alternate modern world where deadly monsters threaten mankind, entering the world through dungeons that appear seemingly randomly, and humans with supernatural abilities are paid as hunters to fight against these monsters. Sung Jin-woo is a notoriously weak hunter who is scraping by, trying to provide for his mother and sister. One day, he gets trapped in a surprise double dungeon that decimates the party of hunters. He also dies, but gets chosen by the system, which gives him overpowered abilities to level up like in a video game, and also turn any vanquished foes into his obedient shadows, among other things. He quickly becomes peerless, steadily defeating a slew of human and monster foes on his way to understanding the nature of the dungeons and monsters. It's a trope that's all too common in the isekai genre. A weak kid with a mop top somehow strikes it lucky and gets blessed with godlike powers, goes through a magical makeover, getting tall and super buff without too much effort, and completing the look with a typical boy band haircut and wardrobe. For some reason, sweat-stained hoodies and jeans don't cut it anymore, and it's more comfortable to fight in a dress shirt and slacks. Last year's Ise Leve was cut from almost the exact same cloth. I'm not saying it's a ripoff, and I'm not saying it's not, but there are plenty of almost direct ripoffs, and having an overpowered protagonist is hardly something novel in this genre. What made Solo Leveling so popular was not so much its premise, in my opinion, but the art. As a webtoon, it wasn't restricted by print media, by set black and white panels on paper pages, and you could tell that Dubu spent a lot of time drawing these beautiful images. And this is why I'm not so sure how the anime will turn out. Can that kind of digital art be properly preserved and translated to the anime format? Based on these trailers, I'm not so sure. The colors are similar but less vibrant, and there is less detail. It doesn't look too different from any other anime. I guess it's not realistic to put so much detail into anime because it's such a different medium from a webtoon. So I guess the real question is how they leverage the strengths of anime as a medium to tell the story to make up for the differences in art. It's very action heavy, so hopefully they can fill in the blanks between the panels in a way that is satisfying. Another one I'm looking forward to is Metallic Rouge. It's not an anime adaptation, it's an original anime produced by the studio Bones for its 25th anniversary. If you're not familiar with Bones, their series include Full Metal Alchemist, My Hero Academia, Eureka 7, Mob Psycho 100, Space Dandy, and Bungo Stray Dogs. Because it's an original series, there's not much information out there aside from the trailers and really brief synopses. In a world where humans and androids called Neons coexist, a Neon named Rouge Red Star and a human investigator, Naomi Orthman, team up on a mission to Mars. Rouge has the appearance of a 17-year-old, but was actually created 10 years ago, and so she can be awkward and naive. She can transform into Metal Rouge and loves chocolate. Naomi is a 23-year-old special investigator for the Truth Department that oversees the Neon. Although she's always cracking jokes, she's rational and good at her job. She provides support for Rouge and is a big eater. Their mission? To track down a group of rebellious Neons who are hostile to the government, called the Immortal Nine. I couldn't find too much information on this group, but according to the website, the Immortal Nine are the original 9 Proto-Neons, presumably the leaders of Alter, an association of Neons who seek to overthrow human society. Only one is introduced on the official homepage, Jaron Fate, who is a hedonist, seeking his own pleasure over the association's goals. It seems he has the ability to mimic others and transform into a yellow gladiator. I'm impartial to science fiction, and the story is reminiscent of the original Blade Runner, based on Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? With a buddy cop twist. It also has magical girl transformations of the Neons into what look like battle mechas, so it's ticking off a lot of boxes. Whether this will all work well together, we'll have to wait and see, but it's a special one for Studio Bones, so I'm hopeful. As for other new shows that might be good, but I don't know much about, Ishura is a story about powerful beings who fight each other to see who's strongest after the defeat of the Demon King. The Witch and the Beast is a dark story about revenge against the witch, but I'm not so sure about the long lashes on everyone. Mr. Villain's Day Off is a slice of life story about a villain on his day off. Very straightforward. Sengoku Yoko is a story about a war between humans and monsters called Katawara, with character designs that remind me a little too much of Inuyasha. And A Sign of Affection is a shoujo love story about a deaf girl, like A Silent Voice. And of course, there are some continuations to look forward to. Classroom of the Elite is getting a 3rd season. Mashle is getting its 2nd. Kingdom is already on its 5th season. Hikari no O, which I mentioned in my last video, is getting a 2nd season. And Great Pretenders is getting a sequel as well. Alright, that's it for today. I'll have a better idea of what I can recommend once the season starts, and I'll do my usual Week 3 reviews.